6 months ago, I couldn't even get out of bed with energy. Every morning felt like a battle I was already losing. I'd sit at my desk for hours, staring at a screen, doing nothing. Not because I was lazy, I just didn't know how my brain actually worked. One day I looked in the mirror and didn't recognize who I'd become. That moment changed everything. I picked up a book about neuroscience and habits, and what I found inside completely blew my mind. I made a decision. 6 months, one commitment, total brain transformation. And I'm going to show you exactly how. Scrolling, snacking, binge watching, they feel good in the moment, but they quietly starve the part of your brain that actually grows. To change your brain, you have to break old neural pathways, and that's uncomfortable at first. Most people try hard for 2 weeks, then crash. The problem isn't willpower, the problem is strategy. Every day you stand at this crossroad, the old familiar way or the new uncomfortable way. The brain defaults to familiar. You have to choose differently. Change starts small, like a seed in the ground. You don't see it at first, but it's growing beneath the surface. Science calls it neuroplasticity. Your brain physically grows new connections every time you repeat a new behavior. Every habit follows a simple loop. A cue triggers a routine, and a reward locks it in. Master this loop, and you master your behavior. Repetition is the language the brain understands. Not perfection, just repetition. Think of your brain like a circuit board. Every new habit you practice carves a deeper, faster neural pathway. Meditation isn't just relaxation. It literally thickens the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that controls focus and decision-making. Journaling is one of the most underrated brain tools. Writing your thoughts slows down your mind and rewires how you process emotions. A brain with weak habits looks sparse and tangled. A brain shaped by 6 months of good habits? It looks like a supercomputer. Consistency is not a big dramatic act. It's small daily water, and the plant always grows. Month 1. The goal isn't to be perfect. The goal is to just begin. One tiny habit every single day. I started with a morning routine. Nothing fancy. Just wake up, drink water, move my body. But this small anchor changed everything that followed. I put my phone face down for 1 hour each morning. What happened in that silence surprised me. I started thinking clearly for the first time in years. Changing my diet was the hardest part. Not because I didn't know what was healthy, but because dopamine fights back hard when you try to take away its candy. I started sleeping at the same time every night. Sleep is when your brain washes itself, sorts memories, and literally repairs. It's non-negotiable. Month 2, I could feel something shifting. The habits were becoming less forced. My brain was starting to expect them. By month 2, I was running 3 times a week. Not to get fit, to flood my brain with BDNF, the protein that actually grows new neurons. I replaced 30 minutes of social media with podcasts and audiobooks. I stopped feeding anxiety. I started feeding curiosity. I practiced saying no to distractions, politely but firmly. Every no to the old life was a yes to the new brain I was building. Every night I wrote down 3 things I was grateful for. Small things. It rewired my brain to scan for the positive instead of the negative. Month 3, halfway through, and something real had changed. I wasn't forcing the habits anymore. They were just who I was. I read 25 books in 6 months. Not because I'm special, because I swapped Netflix for books, and suddenly I had hours. 5 minutes of deep breathing every morning. That's all. But it lowered my cortisol, calmed my nervous system, and made me sharper for the entire day. I invested in real connections. Not texting, talking, laughing, sitting with people. Human connection is literally a brain nutrient. Month 4. I looked back at the calendar. Weeks of consistent effort. That grid of check marks became the most motivating thing I'd ever seen. I started resistance training. Exercise isn't vanity, it's medicine. It regulates dopamine, builds resilience, and directly grows the hippocampus, your memory center. For the first time, I entered flow states regularly. Deep, uninterrupted work for hours. My brain had been rebuilt for focus. Month 6, the last day, I stood at my calendar, a full grid of effort, and I felt something I hadn't felt in years. I felt proud of myself.
Feels different. Not just easier. Exciting. Every morning feels like a gift my habits gave me. My focus is unrecognizable. Hours of deep work without distraction. This isn't a superpower. It's just what happens when your brain is trained. The results don't lie. Month by month, slow at first, then undeniable. Compound growth is real, and your brain is proof of it. Brain is your most important asset, and in 6 months, mine had completely transformed. Not through luck, but through daily, intentional rewiring. Waking up now a better person, the mirror moment that broke me 6 months ago. Now it's the moment that motivates me. The reflection finally matches who I want to be. Something opens up when you change your brain. You stop surviving your days and start owning them. That feeling is worth every difficult morning. And the best part? When you change, you naturally start pulling others up too. A better brain makes you. Here is the one thing I want you to remember from this entire video. Start. Stay. Transform. 3 words. That's the whole formula. Nothing more complicated than that. You have 6 months. Time is always moving. The only question is, will your brain be different at the end of it? Your day 1 starts now. Not Monday. Not next month. Right now. Because the best time to rewire your brain was years ago, and the second best time is today.